May the four victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. Today, I would like to talk about Kaylees' LinkedIn account. I've been speaking about it for the last couple of days. I've spoken about this in the beginning of the case, but I think it's extremely important, and I'll explain the reason why I believe it's important, my theories, my speculations, and my observations only. So this is for entertainment purpose only. Kaylees' sister, Olivia, contacted Chronicles of Olivia on YouTube in the beginning of this case, and she was baffled because when she got the news of the quadruple murders and that she lost her beloved sister, she was driving from a house in Los Angeles to her family's house in Idaho. While she was driving, at 11:33 p.m. on the same day the police were called at 11:58, she receives a notification on her email. The notification leads her to her sister, Kaylees, that she lost 19 hours ago in a horrific quadruple mass murder. So she was baffled. She went to call her friend, or she was driving, so she decided to call her friend, but she luckily took a screenshot of the message. She called her friend, she explained to her friend, and then she went back to check. The account that said was active is all of a sudden deactivated. You can see there that is Kaylees' account. It was active. The timing was 11:32 or 33 p.m. on the 13th of November, and then somebody deactivated the account. Kaylees' sister, Olivia, contacted Moscow, Idaho police and asked the detectives why they disactivated her sister's LinkedIn account. And they said they did not do that. They said that's illegal for them to do. So my question is, was it the FBI who did it? But then I thought about it, and I find that difficult to believe, because the FBI was invited in this case on the 17th of November. That's 5 days after the quadruples. So I wonder, was there the secrets that led up to Kaylees being the target, allegedly, of the quadruples? One of the targets. I believe there were many targets here. For the last couple of days, I've been researching and studying about LinkedIn accounts and how they work. It's supposed to be a professional business account, but it's not only a business account. It looks more like Facebook. You search for jobs there. You can have a business relationship, interviews. You can put up your self-employment business advertisements, etc. So my question is, who deactivated Kaylees' account? And not only who deactivated it, who would have any reason to deactivate it? Could it be possible that people started trolling the LinkedIn account and the people Kaylee was contacting? So maybe the people who were being harassed reported it to LinkedIn and they shut it down? I do not believe that. This happened in a matter of hours. 11:32 p.m. at night on the 13th of November was when the account was shut down. I wonder if the person saw that Olivia, Kaylee's sister, received a message of the notification, so maybe the person decided to deactivate the account. So when Olivia went to Kaylee's account, you can see when she tried to view profile, this is what happened. The profile is not available. Now I wanted to show you something really interesting that I found, and I hope I don't get a copy strike for it. It's for fair use purpose. It's about LinkedIn account so that we just know a bit about what it's used for. Now this is pure speculations. This is some of the theories that I have come out with basically after researching a lot about the LinkedIn accounts for the last week. This is where you have your settings in the LinkedIn account. I opened one. It seemed to be very easy to open one. So when you go to your settings, in the introduction, they show you how to do it. It's quite easy. Then you go to manage payment, and you have to have a secondary account to have that, I believe. It's quite easy. Manage payments, then you put the amount you want to, and you transfer it out. It's that simple. The shocking part that I found is you can make transactions up to $500,000. Some people told me, in fact, it's more. So was somebody making transactions out of Kaylee's account? If you'll notice one thing about my channel and the way I've been working on this case, it's from the beginning, I've never said that this had nothing to do with drugs. I've never said this has something to do with money. I've never said that it doesn't. Let me rephrase it, sorry. I've never pointed my finger and said it was about drugs or about money. But that doesn't mean that I haven't had it behind my mind. I was just waiting to see where the research leads me to. And it's very unfortunate where it's leading me to, I believe, money. Follow the money, like they said, especially in Donald Trump's case. If you remember about the impeachment with Ukraine, they said follow the money. In most of the cases, in true crime, it's love, jealousy, hate, revenge, money. Money is always one of the biggest motives. So it depends. I don't know where the money would come from. It could be different ways. You can use all your imagination about where money could come from. What is interesting is while I was researching this about the LinkedIn account, at once money laundering came up because I was asking questions, and it just telling me Be aware, don't be a victim of money laundering and such things. I found that to be very interesting. So I wonder, did Kaylee unfortunately get herself caught up in something like money laundering? Or was the job in Austin, Texas part of the problem? Did she find out a secret that she wasn't supposed to find out in LinkedIn? Because you're making business relationships. So this is my question. Did Kaylee, or could have Kaylee, allegedly got herself caught up with something really serious, allegedly as money laundering, or, I hate to say this, but drugs? That could be part of money laundering. Because what what I find allegedly, which is really strange, is really baffling. Why would her LinkedIn account just get shut off, closed off totally? It is deactivated. So who has that authority besides the police, the FBI? Lyndon, I would assume. But Lyndon would have to get permission from the person whose account it is. Because the more I studied about LinkedIn account, it's more like you're selling your content. So it's a kind of like a YouTube channel. It's literally like a YouTube channel. You're selling your content, you're putting up your content, but over here you're getting business relationships. You're getting all kind of relationships. And I think the reason that Kaylee joined this account is because she was obviously trying to get herself a job so that she could get herself a stable career and a job, which she did. But then the question is, obviously everything is under gag order. We may never know. But the job that she got, what was it about? I mean, the connections of the job, the people working around the job, the managers, the supervisors. I know she didn't start the job, but what if she found out something that she wasn't supposed to find out? What if the company was doing money laundering? And they knew that they would lose millions and millions of dollars. So they could have easily done it to keep her quiet. And maybe she wasn't obviously supposed to be in the same bed with Maddie. But E and Zan have always said is a separate issue. That one I really believe is the fraternities. So today let me just do this clip about Kaylee and focus on Kaylee. Let's not forget, if you go back to the beginning, Kaylee was the one who got the most injuries. We know that. From her parents, from the news, media. The police haven't confirmed that, neither have they denied that, which they can't do because of all the gag orders. But if she received the most injuries, I believe somebody wanted to keep Kaylee quiet. I can't help but every human being, although we are supposed to be non-biased, there are questions that we have to ask that we cannot ignore. Because we've never seen receipts of that, but I was just wondering. I know Kaylee could have got a down payment on her car, but I'm thinking about, as a therapist, I'm thinking about the things that were new in Kaylee's life, recent, like the last couple of months before she died, maybe a year before she died. Even her childhood, her background will be important. We can hear that from her parents. She came from a loving home. But once you send your child to college, and once they're out of your hands, we can't decide for a child anymore. It's up to them what decisions they make, and we just have to hope as parents that we raised them well and gave them at least a proper proper background so that they know what is right, what is wrong, consequences, ethical morals. I believe those are the things that you usually get from your childhood, from your home to start with. A loving home. Try to avoid arguing or fighting or disagreeing with your partner or your siblings or anyone in front of your children, because that all that has a lot to say about your house, how stable it's for your child's growth and development. So once they're out of your hands and they're in college, there's not much you can do. Once your child is over 18, actually, there's not much you can do. So when they go to these college lives, the sad thing is college is not like what it used to be in our times. University, high school, everything used to be much easier. When we used to have fights with people, it was always, we used to always, unfortunately, that's how we used to solve problems. We used to say, meet me outside in the playground. Girls, boys, whoever it was. But we never used to take it so far as coming in with weapons and wiping out a school or putting people's life in threat or danger. Trigger warning. Because these are the things we are facing around the world, not just in the United Kingdom or not just in the United States. It's everywhere that there's mayhem going on. But once we send our children to college, they have the Greek lifestyle, they have friends they meet, they have college students that they go in the same class with, same Greek lifestyle, same fraternities and sororities. And that is a whole another life, because believe me, the Greek lifestyle do sell, use substances. I've showed you all of many cases that even the FBI is warning the colleges and parents and the staff of the school to be aware. Like millions and millions of dollars that are being dealt by the FBI. Many are under investigations. Many are under, like the university has put them on kind of punishments or whatsoever, but it doesn't seem to help much because they go back to the same things again and again. So by sending our children to the Greek lifestyle and all, it's not like before. Now it's like a whole new cult. So by sending our children there, that's where they learn the most of bullying, most of breaking the rules. They're supposed to be on rules, but then what is interesting about this case is, look at it this way. These students lived off campus, so whatever they were dealing with in their houses, like if there was anything in the houses, law enforcement wouldn't even have known, because it didn't seem like anyone was going and inspecting the houses. The police was knocking at their door. You could literally see that the police were standing there hours and hours before somebody would actually come to the door without making any excuses. So if Kaylee was one of the main targets, and if she, God bless their souls, if she got it the worst, then I believe she could have met the person online. It doesn't necessarily have to be BK. It could have been anyone. And this LinkedIn account shows more. I don't understand why this hasn't been mentioned. It's been mentioned from the beginning, but never by the police, and I find that really interesting. Who was on Kaylee's LinkedIn account is important. Why did they deactivate it? They didn't expect Olivia to get the notification on her email. So was it the people she was going to in Austin, Texas? Or remember Kaylee put out an advertisement for getting a roommate. She said that she was moving to Austin. She's interested in this and that. And she's interested in somebody who's pet friendly because she has Murphy, her dog. I was wondering if she got any reply back. Did she get maybe somebody who was a psychopath? God forbid. It could have been anyone. It could have been someone with hunting skills that came, just finished their job and left. But all the things we were seeing with the surveillance in the grub truck, what was going on, the Banfield, it can't just be a coincidence. So I think something major was happening that day. So we have Kaylee's injuries, that is number one. We have Kaylee mentioning that she had a stalker. We heard the vape shop talking about their situation, saying that the girl said that Kaylee had a stalker. So that is confirmed from his side at least. Then we have what is interesting with the Linden account is it brings me to the fact that Maddie, Jack, John Showalter, and Kaylee were talking on the way to the grub truck, and Kaylee said, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And Maddie said, I told Adam like everything. I wonder if she gave Adam the password to Kaylee's account. Was it Adam and Jack that disactivated the account? Was there a money transaction? I hope the FBI looks into that. I think that is really important because what is strange is Kaylee, Snapchat, TikTok, all of those, Instagram, all those things, her Facebook wasn't logged off. It wasn't disactivated, but the LinkedIn account was disactivated. So somebody did not want whatever contact they had or whatever business relationship or personal or private relationship they had with Kaylee, they didn't want it to leak out. That's the only way I see it. And I think that is really, really interesting. That's something to look at. Because when you look at the grub truck, you can clearly see that everyone's got their eyes on Kaylee and Maddie. They're glued onto them. Then you have Joe Vito, where I don't understand where his connections could have come in. Because he's supposed to be a career advisor in the university. I believe in the economics section of music. So this is somebody that the students are supposed to be looking up to. This is a staff member who's supposed to be keeping the students safe. But yet again, we have him flashing a Coca-Cola can, which looks very odd, which looks like a red flag. We don't know what he's doing with that. Many people assume there's a camera inside it. I've even seen him talking on his wrist, doing like that. And when you talk on your wrist, it's usually an Apple Watch or something like that. So he did that exactly when the girls walk into the grub truck. Pay attention to that. That's when David Lodge and his two little homies are actually looking towards the girls, the entrance they're making. And right before they're making the entrance, David Lodge nudges them and tells them to turn to the opposite direction of where the girls were coming from. So the girls could not see if it was them. They found out later on when these guys came to grab the food. I find that to be really interesting. And then you see Hoodie Guy, Jack Showalter, and these David Lodge and he says these guys giving each other the look and the nod. You have number 9 saying that he's giving that sign of he's going to put someone to sleep. That is the same time you see him later on putting something in Maddie's mouth. Many people believe he didn't, but people are entitled to believe what they believe. Many people actually do agree that there's something odd going on there. He has his hand in her mouth, you can clearly see. And Maddie's tasting it. So what I would at least assume is something was going on in the grub truck, and I don't know if it was related to money or money transferring, transactions, money laundering allegedly, drugs. It could be anything. And I think this was a professional hit. That's why there wasn't any red liquid DNA evidence. There wasn't. So it could be very possible that BK was in the wrong place at the wrong time, being very unfortunate. But what makes me actually believe, to be honest, I would believe that whoever is involved, BK is involved too. It can't be just a coincidence that BK was around those areas. Yes, he could have been meeting a friend. Yes, he could have been around those areas for other reasons, but I don't know, it's just my sixth sense. My instinct tells me that BK was up to no good. What I'm trying to figure out is, first of all, what I'm here for is to get justice for the four students. That's my main aim. I really do not care about who did it, but I want to find out who did it so that they get the correct justice. And to lead to who did it, to get the correct justice, leads me to getting the correct justice not for the students and the families only. What if BK is innocent? What about him? What about his family? Don't they deserve a fair trial? Don't we, all human beings, deserve a fair trial? And make it make sense. If it made sense, I would have given up on this case and moved on to other cases. I know there are other cases that need awareness, but I just feel like I have enough to do in my daily life. And if I can take on something, or if I really am dedicated and motivated to something, right now it's this case. I've been really motivated for a very long time on the Summer Wells' case, but then with the Wells parents making this about themselves more about the 5-year-old girl missing. 6 should be 7 now, summer, almost 8. So it's very sad. That's why I want to get justice for these 4 victims, because I've been following this case from the beginning too. Nicola Bully's case, I was in it for a very long time, up to the end. Although we know, most of us people know it's foul play, there's still discussions, people are still on the Nicola Bully case, just like I'm still on the Idaho case. Some cases are hard to give up. But then there's a big difference. The Nicola Bully's case never went to trial. It was an indictment and they closed it. Although they said there was a man in the mosque near the river when Nicola fell off, and she's a very good swimmer, so nothing made sense. But to put it this way, the Nicola Bully case, at least, we knew it wasn't heading to trial. But this case, this is a capital punishment. This is a murder case. So I want to just, when I say I hate to use the word me and my channel members, I think we really want to find out who did it. I don't think it matters to us if BK is innocent or guilty. I think many people who say that justice for BK, I've seen many people say that on YouTube. I don't believe in the line justice for BK. Justice for the 4 victims. This is about the 4 victims, not about BK. Nobody should be the hero of a story that is so awful, so ethically wrong. This is not even a quadruple. A quadruple comes from the definition of a mass murder. This is a mass murder that happened. And for Kaylee to have got the most injuries, Kaylee complained about a stalker. Maddie confirmed that she had a stalker to the vape shop. Put all these small puzzles together, and it's starting to add up that it could definitely have to do with the LinkedIn account. So my question is, who closed the account? Who deactivated it? Did they see the notification that Olivia opened it from the other side? Maybe they weren't expecting that to happen. And what did Kaylee and Maddie sense? They must have sensed something for them to have been calling Jack. When Kaylee's mother is saying, when Chrissy Gongalves is saying that, no, my daughter wasn't calling because they were scared. They used to do this as what's it called? Drunk jokes or power calling and such things. I don't think it was about that. I really believe they saw something, or something happened to Murphy. Somebody must have lured Murphy away so that they had to open the door and go outside, and something happened to Maddie to start with, because why is the black coat lying there? It doesn't make sense. And believe me, I've tried my best to check from all sides, all angles, but I've decided from the very beginning, just research it yourself, analyze, keep on analyzing, and see where the research leads you. Like, don't make my own assumptions. Although you'll see I do analyze a lot, I speculate a lot, but yes, certain things that I've been speculating about, like David Lodge, I've been saying allegedly for a very long time. Because I know I shouldn't be mentioning names, but I ain't trolling him or putting out his address or his full name there. I mean, sorry, the Lodge is there. David L. is important because the 4chan comes into play. And he was seen in the grub truck. If I did not see him acting fishy and turning his back when the girls walked in, I wouldn't be mentioning him. People just don't like the fact that people want to study this case. People say they want to get justice for the students. But we have a choice. We all are following the book. We all are following the YouTube guidelines, hopefully. But when I'm analyzing the things that I'm seeing, I can't unsee. I can see that there's a plot going on in the grub truck. And then you have bigger creators who come out and start pointing out what smaller creators are doing, saying that no, the Banfield is just a normal stop. It's boys, you're drunk. You don't see 4 figures running when people are drunk from King's Road towards the Sigma Chi or Sigma Chi. You don't have a situation that is just drunk boys, because let's not forget, E and Zano were at this party last. And unfortunately, the Banfield happens to be right near the Sigma Chi. So is that our fault? No. I will analyze every footage that is legal that they put up there. I mean, the news, and I'm talking about the police. It's not like I'm analyzing Linda Lane footage. Many people have asked me on my channel to do that and asked me to give comments about what I think. I think there was something definitely happening in Linda Lane. But the thing is, we don't have facts about the Linda Lane footage. There's no footage out there that they put out there. So that's why I don't focus much on Linda Lane. But I focus on Taylor Avenue, definitely. And I focus on the Sigma Chi because they were under the microscope in the beginning. That's not my words. That's the police's words. That's the media's word. Why were they under investigation? What did they do or what did they not do? What happened in the party that night? I've been hearing all these rumors of the 2 Davids going to the hospital with their hands cut. But I won't even entertain that theory much because it is very possible, but we haven't got that confirmed either. What I see personally is I don't see much right. This is my personal opinion, speculation only, and these are not facts, but I do not see much right with Jack D. It doesn't make sense if Kaylee was your girlfriend for a couple of years, on and off, and you had the corner club right up to 1:30, 1:35, you could have fallen asleep you could have fallen asleep when Kaylee called you and when Maddie called you, but how could you still be asleep the next day when Kaylee's mother called you, because that was after 12:30? She saw that on the news around 12 o'clock. It didn't actually come on the news till 2, 3. It came on KGBT News. So how long was Jack D sleeping? That is what doesn't make sense. And how come Murphy wasn't injured? It was somebody who loved their dog, who made sure that the dog stayed alive, I would have thought. Or somebody who knew the dog. BK wouldn't have had a problem if he was a mass murderer. Trigger warning. He wouldn't have had a problem to unlive a dog. Why did he leave the dog? And why did the person leave 2 surviving roommates? Or could have Kaylee got herself up in something on Lyndon that has to do with money transfer or whatever, and maybe she got Maddie and Zana involved in it too? Allegedly, I'm just thinking out loud there. I'm not accusing anyone. But the Lyndon needs to be checked. I'll be doing another clip soon about some other topics in this case itself. But I think now that I've finally touched on the Lyndon account properly, and I've done that for the last 2 days, let me summarize by saying Lyndon account is a business account, works more like Facebook and all. You send messages and all that. You can transfer your money from, you have to have a second plan, I think it's called. You can transfer your money, make transactions to PayPal, maximum $500,000. Kaylees' account was activated. Her sister got the message, and then the account was deactivated. This was at 11:39 p.m. So that would say 11:58 the police was called. So this would be like 8-9 hours after the police 911 was called. And if you add the 8 hours that they didn't call the police, this is like 19 or 18 hours after the quadruples. If you look at it from 4:25, like they're saying in the affidavit, imagine that. So somebody had this account open for a reason. Kaylee's Snapchat, Kaylee's Snapchat, Kaylee's Instagram, and the other social medias were not deactivated. So I find this to be strange. Let me know what you think about in the comments, but it makes sense to me because Kaylee, I believe, is one of the main targets upstairs in the 3rd floor. She got the most injuries. She was leaving that weekend. Dylan asked her to come back for whatever reason. Kaylee was moving to Austin. It could be a crime of passion. Ex-boyfriend could be involved. Allegedly, a boyfriend could be involved, a new boyfriend. Allegedly, Jack Showalter could have been fantasizing about these girls. Could have been obsessed about these girls. Because let's not forget, he was kicked out of his fraternity for harassment. For harassment. So that is serious. So you have somebody here who has a serious sex problem, and then you have the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, some of them, at least 1 or 2 of them, who seem to be on steroids and all the side effects. Hate, revenge, anger, bitterness. The Greek lifestyle was busy that night. We all know that. So I wouldn't say it's impossible that the students wasn't involved. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a lovely weekend. And I'd like to thank all my subscribers, viewers. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me on YouTube to spread the awareness and to get justice for these 4 beautiful victims and their families. To get the correct justice for everyone involved, including Brian Christopher Kohlberger. Because let's not forget, he's not guilty yet. He has to be proven guilty by the court of laws. And that's another thing. I'm still wondering why he's charged for robbery. Remember they told us that they had some internet activity or some connections between the victims and Brian Kohlberger, like the Instagram and all. That was all a lie because nobody has seen that. The police hasn't said that. It's just unverified sources saying that. Just because they're mainstream media, they can go wrong too. But my question is, could it have been what the police have is Kaylees' LinkedIn account? Because even if they did not know about it, the good thing is Alvira called them and asked them, why did you all deactivate my sister's account? She was furious. They said, we don't do that. We're not allowed to do that under the law. So they know, so at least that will make them think, something's going on here. Check the LinkedIn account. I hope they've done that. So please like, share, and subscribe.